Greetings, Professor. Here is my screencast. I'm just going to go through some of my presentation here for you real quick. The reason I chose the color for the navigation and the instruction is to make it very, very different of everything on the screen, except for maybe the navigation because it's kind of close to the box in color, but I needed to be able to stand out. And being inside of the instructional box, I felt that it would actually work. I'm just going to click through a few slides. You can listen to the narration later. I wanted to add the camera controls because I thought it was important for them, but I didn't want to spend a bunch of time covering it. So it's on every single one of my slides except for the intro slide because it's very useful for them to know how to navigate the camera without me having to spend a bunch of time on it. I did not build this for somebody who had never used Tinkercad before, so I'm assuming they have at least a little bit of knowledge. However, that being said, it doesn't hurt to have some extra instructions on the screen for them, just so they remember how to do certain things. I'm going to fast forward through to where my assessment is. These select boxes, I made sure they stood out really, really well by making them an obnoxious orange color. That way, when those pop up on the screen, they really grab the user's attention, or that's my intention. I hope that works out. At this point, I had to switch the instruction and navigation to the opposite side of the screen. Otherwise, it was hiding the tool that I wanted to use. It's not ideal, but it was the only workaround I found for the screen size. So I hope it makes sense why I did that. And I left it this way for the remaining 3 slides. And I used Captivate's built-in quiz tools basically to create all the quiz ones so they look a lot different than these. So you will see like cropped images on those as I get up to them. And I added a congratulations screen because I always think it's nice to tell somebody that they've done a good job. This wasn't necessarily part of your design requirements, but I feel that it's always a nice thing to have. So now I'll show you my assessment section. So what I did was I took some of my images, previous images, I cropped them down so you could actually see the gizmos a little bit clearer. I added a quiz screen with hotspots on it. So they actually have to click the actual spot and it'll tell them if they're right or they're wrong, and it'll tell them what the correct answer is. So I'm going to intentionally get this one wrong just so you can see an incorrect. And whether it's correct or incorrect, it always comes up here at the same location. I did stay with the standard quiz control for moving to the next screen. This one I will answer correct so you can see the correct response come up. And I think on all of them I just say good job, but I didn't feel like if they got it correct I needed to say any more than that. And I have 5 interactive ones where they're using hotspots and 2 multiple choice questions in my assessment. And then it does tell you what your score is at the end of the quiz. The one thing I wanted to do, but where you said the questions all had to be 1 point, was unable to do is on this first multiple choice question. I actually wanted to make it a multiple answers. That's why you see it says select all that apply. I actually need to fix that. But you'll see that in this. I'll fix that before I submit the final. Is I was going to have them select 3 out of 5 answers, but the problem with that is where it was only a 1 point question, they could only score a 1 or a 0 on it. So they either got it wrong or they got it right, no matter how many they answered correctly. So if they got 2 correct, then they didn't actually get the points for the question instead of getting partial credit, which is what I wanted them to do. And that is all I have. Thank you.